We reached the sub goal to do an AMA. This is the AMA. Great. Okay, let's get started. Question number 1. How did you get into video games in general? How did you then get into and stay in fighting games? The game that got me like into games as a hobby was Final Fantasy VII. I played games before. I've always played games because my grandpa worked with computers and he thought it was very important that we like learned about games and stuff like that. And I told my mom that, Mom, I want to subscribe to this like game magazine. And she was like, okay, fine. 6 months or something, right? Because my mom has never approved of me liking video games so much, but I think I got like a 6-month subscription or something like that, and then you could choose a gift if you subscribe, and I picked Final Fantasy VII. So first of all, I wasn't that good at English, right? So I didn't get that far. I couldn't get past the first boss because I couldn't understand that you're not supposed to hit it when the tail is up. I didn't understand that part, so I just played to the first boss, died, replayed, first boss, died all the time. But like I still thought that like the music, the way everything looked and everything was like so amazing that I'm like, okay, I love video games now. Fighting games I didn't get into until I was like 23. It's basically I decided that I wanted to become good at a game and I didn't know which one. So I researched different games and I knew that I did not want to play a team game because I don't want to be in a team with anyone and like depend on other people. So like the games that I found then were like StarCraft and fighting games. And like I've never been into like the sci-fi whatever look of StarCraft, so I was like, fuck that. And then I stumbled upon like Evo footage and I saw the FGC and I was like, this is it, you know, this is what I want to do. And so I started playing Street Fighter 4. Next question is, who were some formative video games? I guess that means like video games that shaped me into who I am. Again, Final Fantasy VII was like the big one. But then I grew up playing like my dad's NES, so like the first Zelda. Then it's probably like Street Fighter 4 because it was my first fighting game, but Guilty Gear Xrd is the first fighting game that I like fell in love with. It's like when I played Xrd, I realized that, fuck, I probably never liked Street Fighter 4 that much. I just wanted to play a fighting game, you know? And then I have to say Dragon Ball FighterZ, because it's still like one of my favorite fighting games for sure. Dragon Ball and Xrd. I feel like those shaped me. Next question is, how has being a girl in the FGC been? Me, personally, I've never had any trouble. Ever. I don't want to write it down to me being lucky. I think the fact that almost through my entire fighting game career, I have had a boyfriend and people have known who that boyfriend is. I think that has helped me from a lot of situations. But other than that, I don't know. I feel like I keep being surrounded by like sensible people. You know, I can't say that I've had any problems at all, actually. So for me, it's been great. What has been your best experience learning Melee so far? That's a tough one, because I mean, everything's been fun so far, right? The chat room and everyone being so supportive. I think that's been the funniest. Because I was like, no one's gonna fucking want to watch me learn Melee. Like, I've never played a Smash game before. I don't know, I feel like people have been like hanging out and you know, talking in the chat room and cheering me on and stuff. So I think that has been like the best part of it. But other than that, I enjoy learning. I think Melee's fun. Next question, how long do you think you will do Melee streams? Will this be more temporary or long term? I'm planning for this to be long term. I mean, we have to see what happens when Strive comes out. If Strive is awesome, I might main Strive and play Melee on the side, but I don't see myself dropping Melee. I think the real question is like when the Riot game comes out, we might have to sweat hard in that game. But I don't have any plans of dropping Melee. This is a really fun game and it requires a lot of your time also. So I think we're here for the long run. Next question is thoughts on Melee Puff. I'm a Puff main, so don't be rude. I played so little that I don't mind Puff currently at all, actually. I think Puff is fine right now. Which leads us into the next question. Who is your most hated Melee champion? It's Marth. Fuck Marth. What are your opinions on using Hitbox for yourself? I don't know if this person means like hitbox or just boxes in general. I really like the frame 1. I would prefer to play all of my fighting games on frame 1, and that's what I'm gonna try to do. Do you think Hitbox or something like it will be what most people will be playing on in the future? I think we're going to see a bigger shift to box controllers in both melee and regular fighting games. I don't think everyone's going to ever completely switch over, especially not in Smash. Yeah, so I don't know. I think for sure like most people are going to use boxes, and I think that it's good that we get like a bigger variety of different types of controllers. It's going to be, I mean, it's going to be like a question of legality and stuff like that, I assume, in the future. Should Bardock be buffed in Dragon Ball FighterZ? There is a right answer. The answer is yes. I play Bardock, so he should be the best character. What's your dream fighting game, IP and mechanics? I think that it would be cool to have like a Final Fantasy that is not a Dissidia. Like a free versus free Final Fantasy fighting game would be sick. Overall, I think I want more team fighters. I would play Auron, Balthier, and Freya. Next question, what character makes you rage the hardest? I wouldn't say that okay. Maybe UI Goku? I don't know. I don't think I rage at a character. Maybe it's Marth now. Yeah, put Marth in there. I hate Marth. How did you meet Leffen? We met at our local, and I don't know if William was there the first day. I don't remember, because like there were so many people and I didn't know anyone, so it's like I was overwhelmed by people's like new faces and names and stuff like that, right? But we met at the local, and the reason why I even met him there was because he was banned, right? Because Smash didn't play where we played, but since he was banned from Smash, he was playing Marvel and KOF 13. So I was able to meet him because of that he was banned in Smash. Has Leffen's coaching had an impact in your relationship? No, I wouldn't say so. I think he is more annoyed with me now, maybe. I feel fine, I feel fine. For me, it's the same. Would you rather fight a Leffen-sized duck or a duck-sized Leffen? I'm gonna say a duck-sized Leffen. I feel like I could beat that. Leffen-sized duck is too scary. You have to think about the wingspan there. I've seen at least one cat. How many pets do you and William have? What are their names? We only have one cat named Lime. Question after that is, when did you get Lime? I got Lime when I was 13. Sit down, because now we're getting some lore. I had decided that I wanted a cat. Like, I was 13 years old, and I was like, I want my own cat. And like back then, I listened to like Slipknot and Marilyn Manson and stuff, right? So I was like, I want a black cat. So I saved up my money for a cat, and yeah, we found a breeder, and they were like, okay, we have a black Persian cat. And we went there, and that black cat, it was like hiding and like not being social or whatever, which is like fine, because I mean, maybe it's nervous, right? However, there was a certain orange and white cat who was like stalking me. He was like following me around, sitting in my lap, being super cute and everything. And I ended up leaving, being like, I want that cat. I feel like Lime picked me. So I actually went there to buy another cat, but I ended up picking Lime. It's the best decision I've ever made, honestly. Now we have some fashion questions. Who is the most fashionable fighting game character? Like the first thing that pops up in my head is Trunks, right? He won my tier list. KOF fashion tier list. Now we're talking. I don't know. I think if I thought about it longer, maybe I'll come up with someone else. But quick answer, I'm gonna say Trunks. Next question is, did you study fashion at uni or college? No, I have not studied any fashion. Everything that I say are just my opinions. I have worked for a fashion company, so because of that I picked up on like a lot of things. Other than that, it's just I just follow a bunch of fashion stuff, so it's more that it's an interest more than I actually have any like experience. I haven't studied, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, next question is, what is your most hated fashion sin/fad? For me, it's like sometimes I'll see something that I don't personally like, but for me it's like fashion is so much about what you yourself like. So I don't really think that, I feel like if you hate what someone else is wearing, then that's anti-fashion. So I don't really have anything like a sin or a fad that I dislike. One thing that I guess I don't like, and I know William talks about this all the time as well, is like when people are super into sneakers. So they spend a lot of money on sneakers, and then they don't maybe invest in a good pant to show the shoes. So you don't see the shoes. I feel feel like that's just a waste, but I don't hate that. I mean, people can do what they want, right? And then I think like a common mistake that people do, like I think it's very common when you get into fashion, you think that you have to buy everything brand and everything has to be expensive. So you just buy a bunch of expensive brand stuff and put it together, and it doesn't look good as an outfit. You just bought all the stuff that said blah blah brand on it. I don't hate that though. I mean, even like when you're trying to get into fashion, like you try to find a new hobby, like, you know, you're gonna walk into certain traps and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. Is there any fashion brand in particular that I like? Any that inspire me in my own endeavors? I wouldn't say maybe they inspire me that much, but I love Undercover. Let me show you some Undercover. I think that they have cool colors. Every collection that they release, I think, is cool. They're my favorite. I want to wear Gucci. I also love Gucci. I'm not gonna lie. But Gucci and Undercover are my favorite. Next question is pho or ramen. It's not pronounced pho, right? Is it like pho or something? Pho? Pho? I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never had it. But also, doesn't it have cilantro? I can't eat it if it has cilantro. I would like to try it at some point though. I don't know if we can get it in Sweden. I'm gonna say ramen. Next question is Indian food or Ethiopian food. Once again, I don't think I've had Ethiopian food. I googled Ethiopian food though, and it looks amazing. So just based on pictures, I want to say that I would pick Ethiopian food, but I haven't tasted it though. I'm gonna say Ethiopian even though I've never had it. I also feel like I can't pronounce Ethiopian. I have to work on that. Favorite non-game OST albums. I had to think about this one because I couldn't come up with any OST that I like that isn't from a game. But I thought about it and I've come to the conclusion that it is the OST for almost all Chan-wook Park movies. Old Boy, Sympathy for Mrs. Vengeance, The Handmaiden, I'm a Cyborg but that's okay, First. All of those soundtracks are amazing. They're by the same person. I had to Google his name. It's Korean, so I can't pronounce it. Yoo Jung-wook. I'm sorry if anyone in here knows Korean. All of those songs are amazing, and also those movies are amazing, and you should watch them if you haven't. Do you like or own crystals like rose quartz and things like that? I do not. I don't think I own any type of stone. Are they supposed to like cleanse rooms or something? I don't have any magical stuff, unfortunately, no. What's the origin story of the flower avatar? So the flower is the flower from Guilty Gear Xrd. It's Faust's flower. He has a move in which he summons a flower that has a hitbox, and it makes a different face all the time. It wasn't meant to be like my logo or anything. I just had to, you know, it's like when you get your first Twitch account and it's like, oh, you need to have a profile picture. And I'm like, fine, I'll pick this one. And then I haven't switched, and now it might be too late to switch. No. You can't make coffee because I'm recording a video. Okay, we have to take a 1-minute break because William has to make coffee. I'm sorry, stream. I thought you were the boss. I thought so too, but I guess not. Next question is, what has kept you from traveling to American FGC/Smash majors in the past? Is entering an American major something you are considering when it is safe to travel again? The reason why I don't travel a lot is because I am incredibly afraid of flying. And therefore, I only go to countries that I really, really want to go to. And so far, the only country is Japan. So I've been to Japan 3 times. I don't fly anywhere else. I would like to start traveling a bit more whenever that's possible again, if that's possible. Like, I would like to... So, I mean, obviously times have changed, but I would have liked to go to like an Evo, but that's never gonna happen now. But like that would have been nice. But we live in a different world now. There's no Evo and there's a pandemic, so we'll see what happens. If you could travel abroad for a year with no budget, where would you go and what would you do? Would you also bring lime? Am I gonna see Japan again? Yeah, I would like to live in Japan for a year. I was actually going to go to Japan and study, but then the tsunami happened, so I ended up not going. And then I ended up playing fighting games instead, so maybe that was good. I'm glad I didn't go. Maybe I would still live there now. I would not bring lime though, lime's too old. I wonder what do I want to see? I would want to see the Colosseum. I want to go to Japan again. I would like to see New York, because I want to see how tall the buildings are. I want to go to Norway, which is so depressing because it's the neighboring country, but I want to go see the fjords. It looks very pretty. And also Iceland, I think would be cool. Next question is, are there any content creators in DBFC/Melee that you really enjoy watching? I'm gonna be honest with you, I am very, very bad at keeping up with fighting game content in general. I feel like I play fighting games, and then when I don't play fighting games, I don't want to watch more fighting games. I think the only like fighting game content creator I like regularly watch is Sajam. I listen to his like talks, right? He doesn't really fall into the DBFC/Melee content creator category though. I'm gonna have to say Sajam, even though that doesn't answer the question. How do I find love? You don't. Love finds you. Try to be nice and stay clean, you know, shower and be a nice person. And that will help love find you. Will you adopt me? No. Unless you're a corgi, in which case I will. And the last question, what's been the happiest you've been recently? And I honestly don't know, because nothing has happened in a year. I think overall, on like a normal, like average happiness, you know what I mean? Where it's like, I haven't really been sad, but not that much fun has happened either, right? I don't know, I think the last time I felt like like a little peak in happiness was like I don't know, my YouTube video went well. That's such a sad answer. Other than that, I'm like overall but I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Thank you so much for watching today. You were a great Twitch chat and great viewers, and I appreciate you all very much. Take care, guys. Bye 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 bye.